Toyota recorded quite stellar performance.
We went out all out and we have the strategy of sales.
This factory is designed to be one of the most advanced car assembly plants in the world.
And this new plant is very modern, like I said, it's a lot of robotic and environment friendly.
Why Selangor?
Selangor has everything.
How has Invest Selangor helped overcome some of the hurdles that you faced?
Get all the authority approval. To put this team together is not going to be very easy, but Invest Selangor did everything. Hi, I am Ravindran Kurusamy, President of UMW Toyota Motor. UMW Toyota Motor has been in Selangor for more than 50 years. I am proud that over the last 50 years, we have produced and sold more than 1.5 million Toyota vehicles in this country. We look forward to many more years in Selangor.
Despite challenges presented by COVID-19, the automotive sector is seeing positive signs of recovery in the second half of the year. As the rakyat goes back to work and restabilize their finances, increased sales are expected to bode well for automakers. Raising their curtains in Malaysia more than 50 years ago, the local franchise holder for the assembly and distribution of Toyota vehicle, UMW Toyota Motor Sdn Bhd believes that they will remain bullish as long as they stick to the long-term strategies planned. In July, they recorded sales of 7,509 vehicles. It is the highest number achieved for the year and 70% more than the 4,417 units registered in June. Overall, 1.5 million cars have been produced here since Toyota set up a plant in Shah Alam in 1968. In this episode, we want to know what is their secret in constantly conquering the upper rungs of the auto sales ladder and their relationship with their home state here in Malaysia, Selangor. Hi, you are watching Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng. Joining me on the show today are two leaders spearheading a company which produces cars most associated with durability and quality. I am talking about Toyota. Welcome, Mr. Akio Takayama and Mr. Ravindran. Thank you for coming on the show. Now, Takayama-san is UMW Toyota Motor Sdn Bhd Deputy Chairman, whilst Mr. Ravindran is the president of the company. Thank you so much for being with us today. My first question, I would like to get to you first, Mr. Ravindran. In July, Toyota recorded quite stellar performance in your sales figures, despite the testing time that we are in right now. What can you tell us about the success of the company?
I think our success is basically the staff that we have, I think, and also the planning during the MCO. We planned it out very well, and during the time, I think, for 3 months the factory was not running. So we did all this planning, and basically we went out all out, and we have the strategy of sales, and that's what we did, and we were quite successful in July.
Are you optimistic about achieving the sales target for this year?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I would like to talk a bit more about the plans later on in the show, but right now I'd like to get to Takayama-san. I know in 2016 that UMW Toyota spent 1.8 billion ringgit to build a second factory in Bukit Raja Klang in Selangor. And this factory is designed to be one of the most advanced car assembly plants in the world. Once again, UMW Toyota chose Selangor to build its factory. Why Selangor?
Okay, one of our priority to ensure the delivery of the cars is on time. Then, as a car manufacturer, the most important factor is determining the location of the factory is whether we can implement just in time or not. So, the car has roughly 20 to 30,000 component parts arriving all over the world, and which must arrive on time so that we can be manufactured cars and delivered to the customers on time. This is most important. For this to happen, we need a well-established logistics network like ports, highways, and airport. Yeah. needed to say, the manufacturing plant requires stable, the essential energies,
Right.
the electricity,
Water,
gas,
gas.
water, so on. And the third one, lastly but not least, the guaranteed access to the skilled manpower. Then Selangor has everything.
One of the state agencies involved in facilitating businesses is Invest Selangor. How has Invest Selangor helped overcome some of the hurdles that you faced throughout the years?
I think they were very, very efficient the way they deal with us. And I think I have to say they're very, very helpful. In any country, even in Malaysia, to get all the approval, because the land title, to get the CF and get all the authority approval, to put this team together is not going to be very easy. But Invest Selangor did everything from Town Council, Shah Alam Town Council, Klang Town Council, putting TNB, Inda, everybody they put together, so it was very easy and very convenient for us. So we don't have to go and see individually. Invest Selangor made all the arrangement for us. So that was the benefit, and I think that was the excellent thing.
So that's like a one-stop center.
One-stop center,
Right,
yes.
okay. Now I would like to get to some of the challenges that's happening right now, facing a lot of company leaders, CEOs. I believe Mr. Ravindran, during the pandemic was quite a challenging time. You mentioned about perhaps supply disruption, supply chain disruption. What are some of the most important or key takeaway lessons that you have learned during the pandemic for the automotive industry?
I think Takayama-san have said to build a car, you got 30,000 components and you got many suppliers. But I think the advantage that we had, it's not pandemic itself. Before itself, we had a very strong infrastructure internally. That means we work with our suppliers and we say, if there's a disruption in this factory, how we can source from another factory, okay? But it's same components. So the logistic part for us, if we don't get it in Malaysia, we can temporarily buy from Thailand or even from Philippines or Indonesia. So we did the same thing. It's not only we have to build the car, other countries also building. So we made a lot of arrangement, especially export parts. Okay? So there were day and night we were working and getting special approval from the government to make sure the factories are running with very minimum stuff. So we have to take care of everything. So I think that was the biggest challenge that we faced.
Thank you so much, Takayama-san and Mr. Ravindran. We will take a short break. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we want to speak to Mr. Ravindran about his outlook for the automotive sector, and also how has Invest Selangor helped them and continue to help them to accelerate the growth of the business. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng. Still on the show right now is Mr. Ravindran. He is the president of UMW Toyota Motor, Sendrian Berhad. Now, Mr. Ravindran, earlier we talked about some of the challenges that you have faced running these operations, massive operations. I want to talk about your growth plans and target. So your new factory in Bukit Raja, Klang, started operations early last year. What are some of the exciting things that we could expect from you in the near future?
I think the new plan we set, first thing for passenger vehicles. So I've said earlier, it took us 2 years to put this plan together. And we had a target date, January, that's supposed to start the first production. The first model was Vios, and April was Yaris. And we were very successful. And this new plant is very modern, like I said, it's a lot of robotic and environment friendly. But the target date is target date because we wanted the volume. And we made a lot of changes in the new plant. When we talk about building a plant for 2 years, it's not going to be easy. I think Malaysia plant is one of the fastest that we built and started the production. When I said passenger, we were looking at B segment, that is Vios and Yaris. So that is a segment. It's roughly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around 60 to 70,000 units that we can sell in segments, and we are holding around close to 40% of the market share there.
All right. I want to talk a bit about the business confidence aspect with the pandemic hitting and disrupted most of the industries, particularly auto has been quite impacted as well, right? How has it affected your strategy moving forward? Do you still feel optimistic about the coming year?
I think the pandemic have also taught us many lessons, how to be more prudent. Okay? But it helps us in the communication because we did not stop and say, okay, this is pandemic. We were communicating to all over the world that ideas we were putting together because everybody was going through the same thing. So that part, I think we learned a lot of things and we strengthened our own infrastructure. But the most important thing we did is training, keep on training our people. And in investment, I think we also got some special exemption, when I will say that, from the government for us to do some small renovations and get ready for the next model that we wanted to produce in this new plant.
Now, I would like to talk a bit about the outlook, right? You mentioned that you were quite optimistic about your plans and targets ahead. Now, with the increased capacity coming out from your new Bukit Raja plant in Klang, how will that elevate Toyota to be the leader in automotive sales and manufacturing?
First, I think in 2019, we started Vios and Yaris, and we're going to build a new model next year in that plant. So the capacity is growing. When the capacity grows, we can employ more people, and also the suppliers will benefit because there's a lot of supply chain activities going to happen in the plant. So that is the first thing that is going to happen. And of course, we are continuing expanding the plant. We are expanding the welding shop. Okay? So this is another investment that we are spending around close to $150 million.
Why this particular area?
Because the assembly plant we already built for the future. Okay? But we look at the maximizing, okay? And we felt the welding shop we need to expand a slightly bigger. So that will help the smooth flow of the complete logistic in the plant itself. Okay? So that's where we're investing. And it's going to be like $150 million we're going to spend on it.
Okay. So I understand that you have some exciting products in the pipeline. The Hilux and Uplift model was recently launched. Can you tell us what else can we expect from UMW Toyota this year?
There will be other models from the, what we call the 4x4s are coming out. One of it will be the Fortuner that we will be launching soon. And next year, early part of next year, there will be passenger car we will be launching. But this is our facelift, it's not new model. Okay? But that's how the car industry, every year we have something that we will be launching.
All right, well, we look forward to those products that you have mentioned. Thank you once again for hosting us today, and we wish you all the best with your expansion plans and in building Selangor together.
I have to say thank you to you.
Thank you very much. Now, you've been watching Investment Insider with me, Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again in the next episode. Have a good day.
This building is about 500,000 square feet. Yeah, I think there are many reasons why Selangor is an ideal choice for Nippon Express. Invest Selangor had come in at the right time.